It's like Liz and Hodge came in, like a couple of girls that we know, and sort of came in, got it in one.
Yeah, as soon as there was like a couple of girls in the room, I was like, you really stepped your game up, mate.
Yeah.
Suddenly there was a lot of pressure.
started caring.
Yeah.
So are you planning to come and play in Brighton at all? Because obviously I'd like to come and see you live. Yeah, you're definitely on my must-see live list. So are you?
Amazing.
On this way at all?
Yeah, we've got like at the moment, just sort of in the uncertain waters of COVID, we've got 2 gigs booked, and that's all we've got booked so far. One in Southampton and one in London.
We've got a headline in Southampton in July, and then we're supporting in August the Skinner Brothers at the 100 Club.
Yes.
Oxford.
Yes, I was going to say, it's just been announced that you're going to be supporting the Skinner Brothers at the 100 Club. How did that come about?
No, we're so excited about that one. It's a bit of
a biggie for us.
It's a biggie for us because those guys are great and like, you know,
they've got they're kind of name for themselves as well.
Yeah, they're smashing it, and like we kind of just we just kind of started linked up over Instagram really, and they started like liking our stuff, and we started liking their stuff, and they'd comment going, "Oh, you guys are smashing it."
Playing the 100 Club, that's a massive deal because that's an iconic venue in itself. So
yeah, of course. I've never actually been. Like my dad said that he used to go there all the time, but I think most people of his age say that they used to go there all the time. But what I ask him is, Dad, where are the stubs?
Yeah, prove it.
There's no stubs, no proof.
No stubs, no gig, mate.
He probably used it as roach.
Yeah, of course.
I'd have to edit that bit out now as well. So.
He probably used it to make a paper aeroplane.
Yeah, for a cigarette, not a.
Yeah. So, what have you been listening to over lockdown? Who's been on your playlists?
There's been currently I'm listening to. It's not that current. Like it's not that new. But I've been listening to a lot of Father John Misty. He's my favourite. Probably he's up there with Lennon.
And you've been listening to a lot of Eagles of Death Metal too.
A lot of Eagles of Death Metal, and there's this Jarvis Cocker album he did with Chili Gonzalez. Did you hear that? It's called Room 29. It's a concept album about a hotel room, and it's just like piano and vocal pretty much for the whole thing, like peppered with a few overdubs. But it's just Jarvis's amazing poetry, and he sort of talks it with his piano. It's almost like beat poetry kind of thing, but obviously coming from the man himself. Do you know what I mean? I'm listening to that quite a lot.
Oh,
sort of talky, quite wordy. Not as much with the Eagles thing. Eagles I've been listening to for vibe, but Misty and Jarvis lyrically for me are definitely yeah, very much so. How about you, chaps?
Oh, as far as like kind of bands that are kind of in our peer circle, been listening to a lot of Little Thief, and they're a Bristol-based band.
Great band.
They're a great band. They kind of started off as a 2-piece kind of, and then they've kind of just expanded and got like a few other people in, and they've just it's great stuff. It's great stuff.
I've been still loving the Fontaines. I can't help but listening to that every day.
Yeah,
I was going to say that as well. Like early lockdown, I got really into the latest Fontaines album.
The second one,
yeah. It's really good.
You got into the second Fontaines album, and you bought yourself a reverb pedal.
Yeah, I really got into it.
Yeah. I listened to the Eagles and got myself that fuzz. That's how it happened. Eagles are death metal day, so I feel like there should be a.
Every time you say Eagles, it's going either way.
Well, to be honest, there's nothing much that wrong with the Eagles. You taught me that.
Well, no, I like the Eagles. Yeah.
Will these be influencing your next tracks? Is this, will there be like a poetry concept track or
I think
infused death metal track?
I think there is quite a clear influence, because Charlie's sort of talking about Jarvis Cocker and Eagles of Death Metal, and that is kind of what we're doing. It's kind of lyrical poetry and then big, heavy rhythm section.
Yeah.
Because kind of
you don't play by the rules. Your music doesn't fit the standard format, which is what I love about you guys, is the fact that you think outside the box, and that for me is a great way to produce music.
Nice, man.
Appreciate it.
Just released Sufferin Safari. Can you tell us more about the track? What's the track about?
if I was to describe the track, I'd say it's like it's a kind of confessional poem. The original lyrics I had was written at quite a confusing and quite strange time for me, and I was deciding between all manner of things, lust and love being one of them. We got some fuzz pedals and...
Be more elusive with the answer.
I'll now pass you over to Louis, who's going to give you an incredibly concise answer.
We've got good cop and elusive cop.
Why do we have to be cops?
Yeah, well, Charlie obviously knows exactly what it is about because he wrote it. But yeah, it's I think it's a confessional poem about the darkest thoughts that you have in a relationship. We kind of
at the low points, kind of, the things that you kind of probably regret thinking in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, I think we've all been there
or something.
Yeah,
and especially
we can all
during
relate to it.
lockdown and stuff, being stuck in the same house with maybe a significant other. It's tough all over. So,
yes.
I think it kind of hits home for a lot of people.
Yes, yeah, it resonates even more so, I suppose. So,
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So, are you any plans on releasing it on vinyl at all, or have you released anything on vinyl before? Or would you consider releasing something on vinyl?
We'd love to.
No, nothing on vinyl. I've always liked the idea of having my music on something that I could comfortably frisbee at someone.
You can't quite get the right sort of spin on a CD.
No, exactly.
It's like that bit in Shaun of the Dead.
It just doesn't have the weight, does it?
Exactly.
You need the weight behind it, so...
I think one of them in this Shaun of the Dead is the Batman soundtrack as well.
Yeah, chuck it.
It's the first record I ever bought.
Yeah, but no, you are right. You need the weight by the band.
Hey.
You can get the vinyl of the weight.
Yeah. But yeah, I think there's I'm not sure how much is supposed to be under Cloak and Dagger at the moment, but yeah, I think there's definitely plans to work on like an album. I was going to say a bigger collection of songs. Let's not just say album.
Yeah. All right, Oscar Wilde. Just rediscovered the album there.
I have nothing to declare but my elusiveness.
Like that is the plan. Album, vinyl.
Excellent. Because obviously I'm going to be starting a new feature on the show. I'm doing a vinyl selection, so I'll be playing tracks that I've on vinyl onto the show, so I'm going to be using that.
Great.
Anyone that
we'll send one over for sure.
Oh,
yeah,
that'd be fantastic. Yeah,
of course, man.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll go back on the show again. So, yeah,
amazing.
That's a really cool idea to like be spinning vinyls on your show.
Yeah, it's something different. So nowadays you got to do something different, haven't you? So you got to
yeah, of course.
So if people want to find you, where can people find you on the social medias?
You can find us on Instagram at @thedeadfreights_band. You can find us on Facebook, just The Dead Freights. Twitter, The Dead Freights. We're even on TikTok,
imagine that.
Even though I don't really know what I'm doing.
Louis does a bloody good job for our social media.
Really. Thank you. And Charlie, you help too.
I chip in here and there, but you can always tell when I filmed it because I'm rubbish with technology. My phone, it's always really grainy, and my like spacing is always slightly off. It's quite. You can tell. I think it's got a bit of charm to it.
Yeah.
But the one that
Charlie's not long moved on from recording all of his ideas onto cassette.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, like Charlie would bring in a cassette player and like a little kind of, like the little one they've got in Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
It's just like a little cassette.
I was thinking more Twin Peaks. Home Alone 2. We can work with.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're Macaulay Culkin, I'm definitely Joe Pesci.
I was going to say Michael Jackson.
Well, that's a whole new story. I don't think we can go there.
Delete that bit. I'll delete that.
Another bit to edit out.
Especially after the story from when I met you as kids. Fucking delete this. It's falling apart.
Right, so it's been great to meet you guys. It's great to have the interview and to catch up in the chat. And I'm happy to play your new track again. Would you like to introduce it?
Absolutely, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Premium Blend radio show. This is The Dead Freights' new single, Sufferin' Safari.
Words ring through the sludge with a wink, a nudge and a cough cough. Now, got it, and for what? Nothing, fingers in throats. All the bad dreams make sense, but the wet ones don't. Oh, darling, wait and see. Let me keep you suffering with me. Oh! You lick the taste and wait to see. We'll charm the hounds out of hell, scare the hell out of me. Now, got it, and for what? Nothing, fingers in throats. All the bad dreams make sense, but the wet ones don't. Oh, darling, wait and see. Let me keep you suffering with me. Oh! Say it loud, hard, give me murder in the dark. Come on, tickle his bones. I'll follow your shadow's ghost.
There we go. That was the Dead Freights with Suffering Safari. So nice one, guys, for the catch up and the little interview. Really enjoyed it, and obviously I had to edit out large chunks of that as well, because obviously there was bits they spoke about that haven't even been announced. So you might make sure you want to keep an eye on their socials, because they got lots of things going on, and that's all over it's all been chopped out, that interview. So nice one, guys. Thank you very much. So now we have Brighton Fuzz Pop Rock Quartet Beach Riot, and they're back with another big tune with Sofa Surfer via Alco Pop Records. With a more reserved tempo to their usual pedal to the metal sound, with their desert rock vibe, taken from their new forthcoming debut EP, Subatomic Party, which is set for release in the summer, with more details to be released in the coming months. They've also had a rescheduled 17-day UK tour planned that's now been moved to November and December, ending at the Prince Albert in Brighton on the 16th of December. So you want to be going and checking that out. It's a great band. I've played a fair few of their tracks now, and they've always been awesome. This is Beach Riot and Sofa Surfer.